Good morning, Kentucky, and thank you for waking up with us here on ABC 36. We have a little rain out there for your morning commute, so we want to check in with meteorologist Elise Dillonard for an update on your forecast. Elise, good morning.
Good morning, Katie. Good morning, everyone. We do have some isolated showers lingering, and we could possibly see a little bit of drizzle, mainly earlier on, but we're looking at some drier conditions into the afternoon. But what I really want to talk about are the temperatures this morning. Take a look. It's feeling pretty nice out there as you head out the door, but you may still want a light jacket, of course. But we are currently sitting at 60 degrees here in Lexington. It's 60 in London, 59 in Jackson. So we've got some 50s and 60s to start off your Thursday morning. But of course, we do have a few isolated showers that are still lingering and maybe even a little bit of drizzle as well. So we do have some wet roadways out there, so you might want to slow it down just a little bit. But this activity will continue to push off to the east, and we'll see some drier conditions into the second half of the day. Now, I mentioned the possibility of some drizzle. You can't see it on satellite and radar because it is so light, but it is possible that we will be seeing that this morning. So for the kids heading out to the bus stop, they will want to keep an umbrella handy and some rain gear. Again, temperatures generally in the upper 50s and right around 60 degrees to start off. By the afternoon, though, take a look. Temperatures around 70 degrees. And again, we're looking at some drier conditions. So the rain gear and a jacket this morning, but by the afternoon, you can put that away. And good news, the warmer temperatures will be sticking around for the next few days. But some bad news, we will be holding on to some rain shower chances as well. But we'll take a look at all of the details coming up in the full forecast.
Thank you, Elise. And new this morning, Lexington police say they're trying to track down the caller who set up a pizza delivery driver to be robbed Wednesday night. ABC 36's Fadia Patterson joins us live with the details. Fadia, good morning.
Katie, good morning. Police say that a Papa John's driver was called to a home for a delivery. Once he got there, he realized that he was being approached for more than just pizza. Police say that the driver was approached by 3 men. Once he got there, he says that the men demanded cash and his car. They took his 2010 dark gray Honda Accord. Police say the driver left his cell phone in the car, and investigators were tracking the phone until someone turned it off. Police say the people at the home the driver was called to did not place any orders and had no involvement in the robbery. Police are now trying to track the owner of the phone used to place the order. Reporting live in Lexington, Fadia Patterson, ABC 36 News.
Thank you, Fadia. Kentucky House Speaker Jeff Hoover has now reached a settlement with a woman over sexual harassment claims, and that's according to the Courier-Journal. The newspaper says Hoover reached the confidential settlement over allegations made by a staff member. The settlement came last week after Hoover received a letter from the woman's lawyer over allegations that date back to 2016. According to the Courier-Journal, Hoover and the woman traded sexually explicit text messages, and then after reevaluating the relationship, the woman came to believe it was harassment. Hoover and his chief of staff declined to respond. And a second student has died after a car and truck collided in Berea last Friday, and now police are accusing another driver of manslaughter. Berea police say a student from Bulgaria, Zoana Ivanova, died at the scene of that accident, and now the Madison County coroner says Nakanja Inkbold of Mongolia has also died. Both were in the car. Police suspect alcohol was a factor in this crash. Police had already charged the driver of the car, Daryl Longfoster, with driving under the influence. Now they have accused the truck's driver, Natasha Cross, of manslaughter. Her picture right now is not available to us. Police accuse her of hitting a mailbox and being involved in another collision that same night. And police say a man in Kentucky was pretending to be a police officer when he pulled over an actual police officer. His name is Brandon Hurley, and he was arraigned Wednesday morning on charges of impersonating a police officer. Mark Vanderoff has more.
He's 24. He's a low risk. He's charged with impersonating a police officer and wanton endangerment second. He's got a $500 bond.
Police say Brandon Hurley used flashing lights and honked his horn to pull over someone on Hurstbourne Parkway near LaGrange Road. That someone turned out to be a real off-duty police officer in a personal vehicle.
The officer passed the defendant. The defendant then did a U-turn in the road and got behind a Fiance vehicle. That's just some bad luck there. Drop in behind a police officer.
Police say Hurley accused the driver of hitting a curb and asked the driver if he knew how fast he was going. Then the driver asked for Hurley's badge number and told Hurley he himself was an LMPD police officer. That's when Hurley got into his car and left.
Officer was able to get the defendant's license plate number. The officer believed he recognized the defendant from high school, which is another bad break.
Police say Hurley sped away in the wrong lanes of traffic.
The county objects to a bar interaction. This certainly presents a potential danger to the community if somebody is trying to impersonate a police officer and make stops and do things that they are not authorized to do.
According to the arrest warrant, Hurley did tell the officer he would not write him a ticket.
You're going to be required to remove all of these flashing lights. If you've got flashing lights on your car, you're going to be required to remove them, and you're going to have to be required to deliver them in court.
Again, that was Mark Vanderoff reporting. The Laurel County Sheriff says a man got into a fight with his girlfriend and ended up with a skull fracture. According to the sheriff, 33-year-old Amber Fields and the victim were fighting at their home on E.B. Cross Road in London on Tuesday. The sheriff says the boyfriend was hit with a metal pipe, causing a skull fracture. He was bound with tape and his wallet, debit card, and cell phone were taken. Fields and 25-year-old Robert Maddox were both charged with assault and robbery. And an update now to a story we've been following. We told you last week about a deputy dragged while trying to stop a truck on October 18th there in Anderson County. We're looking at video now of that incident. Police in Versailles now tell us they have made an arrest in this case. They've arrested 33-year-old Zachary Jones of Versailles. Police say they found him in an outbuilding on a farm after a report of a burglary. And the weather was ironically dreary yesterday for the opening of a solar farm in Winchester, the 60-acre farm. It's now officially open. The Kentucky Power Cooperative says the farm holds more than 32,000 solar panels, $460, and you can license a panel for 25 years. It takes about 25 to 30 panels to power the average Kentucky home.
Very affordable, reliable, competitive, renewable option for our members.
Conservationists say teaching people to install solar power could be a good option for coal communities to find new life. In Louisville, some big changes are on the way for the home of the Kentucky Derby. Churchill Downs is now investing $32 million on parking lot renovations and a new bus depot. Churchill Downs says the upgrades will improve traffic and parking lot flow for visitors. The project will include a pedestrian plaza and a bigger paddock entrance gate for bus riders. And we want to turn now to our Nation View this morning and the deadly attack in New York City. President Trump making a bold statement on the familiar platform about the suspect accused of carrying out the attack. ABC's Janae Norman has more on the president's reaction from Washington.
Good morning. President Trump called the suspect an animal and lashed out at the U.S. justice system. He says the way the system handles terrorists is a joke and that he's considered sending the suspect to Guantanamo Bay.
Overnight, the president calling for the death penalty, tweeting NYC terrorist was happy as he asked to hang ISIS flag in his hospital room, adding should get death penalty. President Trump has continued to voice strong opinions in the wake of the deadly truck attack in New York City. Police say Sayfullo Saipov drove a large Home Depot truck swerving into a bike lane, mowing down pedestrians for nearly 20 blocks, almost a full mile, leaving 8 dead.
We also have to come up with punishment that's far quicker and far greater than the punishment these animals are getting right now.
President Trump taking a tough stance on the man being labeled a terrorist, tweeting, "We are fighting hard for merit-based immigration, no more Democrat lottery systems. We must get much tougher and smarter."
Despite the president calling that a Democrat lottery system, that diversity visa program was signed into law by Republican President George H.W. Bush. It provides about 50,000 visas out of millions of applicants every year, and everyone accepted gets a background check. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
Time now is 6:36, and coming up, the latest on that deadly shooting at a Colorado Walmart. Plus, the CIA has released more than 400,000 documents seized from Osama bin Laden. Find out what they uncovered after the break.